And straight after that, we've got Poppy. If you haven't seen Poppy's channel, go and check him out too. He's good for a chat, he's fun, and he makes cool stuff. And straight after that, we've got Poppy. If you haven't seen Poppy's channel, go and check him out too. He's good for a chat, he's fun, and he makes cool stuff.
Hey gang, Poppy here, and we're in the computer room. As you can see, this is a omnibus recording. I did another one earlier, a couple 3 weeks ago. This is like number 2. First of all, most important of all, a shout out to R. Stephen Lang at Shark River Machine. If you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, do so. I am especially thankful to R. Stephen Lang for demonstrating this. That, which I just held up in the camera, is a laser center edge finder manufactured by SDA Manufacturing in Pedra, California. That's P-I-E-D, Pedra, P-I-E-D-R-A, California, 93649. Looks like a phone number here, 559-787-2580. www.lasercenteredgefinder.com. All one word. No spaces between laser, center, edge, and finder. Okay. Now, a little bit of history. Going on 2 years ago, I had the idea for a little laser I could put in the spindle of my shear line mill and put a little itty bitty red dot where X marks the spot. This is proof of concept. It's a $12 laser bore sighter. This here was a little adapter I made so I could stick it through the spindle of my shear line mill and gronk it down, put it in place. I think the only problem is throwing a dot like that big. Well, seemed that big. I mean, 2 centimeters over 100 yards. I thought it could be nice and tiny at less than 6 inches, right? No. So, how about this? You may not be able to see too well, but that's a 50 micron mammography pinhole or aperture. I believe they call them apertures in mammography. What's mammography? That's a fancy name for pinhole photography. You got a box, you put the film in the back, you punch a hole in the front, and pinhole photography. They call it mammography. Okay. That reduced the size of my spot coming out of this, but it was still too big, and it was way, way too dim. But the proof of concept was there, and, sort of just not good enough. And the reason I tried the mammography pinhole, or should I say aperture, was you see all those little laser pointers, you get these little things you can screw around, you got stars and Mickey Mouse and all that. I said, how about micron size in the micron range pinhole? What can I say? You know, it was a good idea until it failed. Let's put this over here. I'm going to have to find someone that can sell a laser bore sighter to now. I don't need it. Put this in here with the crosshairs objective lens that I've got for another project. Okay, now, that didn't work. So I found this, it was called the red dot laser positioning device. Let me get it for you. Here we go. You know, red dot, and you turn the little knob here, it could go from a line to a dot. Way too big, although more powerful, right? I tried the mammography aperture. An unqualified failure. I mean, you'd have thought with a more powerful laser. No. It didn't get small enough, and it wasn't visible. So, I'll probably try and sell that to someone. I imagine Out of the Woods could use it to line up, you know, those big tree trunks he's slabbing off. Someone tell the host at Out of the Woods if he's looking for a laser positioning device, Poppy's Workshop will sell him one dirt cheap. Yeah, it works, and although it's not thousandth of an inch diameter red dot that Poppy needs, I mean, it's a tiny little red dot, or thin line, depending on how you focus. I mean, hey, less than $30, plus shipping, of course. Think about it. Okay, now, Stephen Lang, and I believe it was the second of his Tom Lipton chant frame block videos, demonstrated this. This is what I was chasing after. The right length, 1/4 inch shank, polarizer, and plus somewhere inside here they did a little better focusing on this laser to get it tighter than a laser bore sighter, which, you know, a hunter want to make sure that his bullet's going to go where the crosshairs in his telescopic sight are pointing, right? Or if he's using iron sights, same idea. I'd hate to have to depend on a laser to protect my fat, smelly butt that I can't get a good focus on. Anyway, this puts out that nice itty bitty red dot, and with the polarizer you can turn it and make it even smaller. Now, with your laser center edge finder, you get okay, you see that? That's the test target. You put on the table of your milling machine, right? Put this in the spindle, turn it on, and you play with the focus. And if it's not centered properly, there's these 4 screws for fine adjustment. If somehow the post office managed to shake it loose, you notice I said post office shook it loose, or FedEx or UPS, right? You can readjust it, get it back on center. Put it in the spindle, and as you're adjusting it, turn it a little bit, see, if the dot is going around or if it's right on where X marks the spot. Now, in their instructions, I'll show you them in a moment, they say use blue die-chem on the part because the blue will absorb extra laser light and your dot will disappear right in where X marks the spot. Then you know you are centered. That was the whole idea I wanted to achieve. And it does it. Tomorrow night, I'll go out in the shop and I'll shoot another video showing you as I walk the dot right to where X marks the spot. Now, the owner's manual, it's a class 1 laser. The laser center edge finder is finding new applications in a wide variety of working situations, diverse industries, including metal, wood, and plastics. If you can put 1/1000th of an inch diameter red dot where X marks the spot, there are all kinds of shops want that. And on Steven's recommendation, he said the dot disappeared into an X marks the spot. And he showed me a Starrett pocket scribe he used to. So, yeah. And it does what the company and Steven told me it does. And I am thrilled. I finally got it. This is a battery-powered unit. It takes 3 LR44s. They have ones with a power supply that plugs into it. You just can't stand batteries. Of course, I imagine those AC-powered units, you can't rotate the spindle. Oh, the company says don't rotate, don't put this in the spindle and turn the spindle on. They say, no. They say just for alignment, by hand. Smart. They make water jet units for water jets, right? Okay. I'm not going to go into the water jet crap. CNC wet cabinet, bridge mount. The bridge mount laser. Okay, I don't have a bridge mount. Special lens units. Ooh, the crosshair lens unit allowed. Okay, they showed 3 different models. There's the dot, the little itty bitty circle, and a crosshair. I ordered the red dot because that's what I wanted. I knew about the little circle. I knew about the crosshairs. I want my little itty bitty 1/1000th of an inch diameter red dot to walk onto X marks the spot. I got it. Okay. Laser parameters, 650 nanometers. Laser power and classification, 350 microwatts. Is that strange U with a tail? W, microwatts. Mode of operation, continuous wave. Caution use of controls or adjustments or performance of procedures other than those specified herein may result in hazardous radiation exposure. Don't point it at your eyes. Okay? Don't point it at anyone's eyes. Maybe a black widow, hiding up there, splash that across her eyes. That's okay. Poppy endorses killing black widows on sight. Now, tarantulas are another story. Poppy's been known to keep them for up to 17 years. I cried when Harriet died. Anyway, I digress. Safety information. Do not modify the unit or remove protective housing. Of course not. Do not stare into the laser source or project the laser beam directly into the eyes of others or at reflective surfaces. Don't flash it off the mirror. Always turn the unit off when not in use, because it is a continuous wave that's got a finite lifespan. I won't say limited. I mean, there's so many thousand hours, but finite nonetheless. I mean, you leave a light bulb on and leave it on, it's going to burn out. You turn it off when you're not using it, turn it on when you're using it, turn it off when you're not using it. It'll last longer, in years, not usage life. Okay. Do not operate the laser around children or allow children. Oh, yeah. You're stupid if you let kids touch any kind of laser. And you let them see them, they're going to have to touch it. Kids. There. That fly was bugging me. Now he's trapped between the window and the screen. Maybe I'll leave that window closed until June. This is October now, so. You know what that means for Mr. Fly? Maintenance. The only maintenance required on this model is alignment or replacing batteries. And my guess is it's already aligned really nice. I'll let you know if it isn't. But it seems dead easy to adjust. No service or service-related adjustments should be performed by the customer. No attempt should be made to remove the laser itself from its housing. If the outside housing should be damaged in any way, it should be returned to the manufacturer. Unless you're Captain Laser or you're going to reverse engineer it, don't take it apart. Alignment procedure. You put it in the spindle, put the target on the table, turn it on, walk it till it's on X marks the spot, then by hand you rotate the spindle, see if it's going around X marks the spot, or if it's sort of like the center finders, center indicators we used to use on the lathe long ago before digitals. There's a ball here and like a 1/4 to 1/2 inch long little spike, and out here we got a 12-inch long spike. You put the holder for this unit in the tool post of your lathe. You put the little spike in the center mark, on the part on the lathe, and you point the long spike at the tailstock center. It should be going, the closer to no, the better. Well, it's the same idea, but this is a laser.
Are you done recording?
No, I'm not. Anyway, they provide you an Allen wrench. Here, you see, for the 4 little set screws for adjustment. Okay, replacing batteries. You simply I use an old credit card.
Batteries doesn't
Anyway, this little part here holds the 3 LR44s, and you rotate it to turn it on and off. It's spring-loaded and finicky to get in and out. I didn't want to use a metallic tool to pry it out. A design upgrade would be if they were to put a little 1/16 of an inch diameter hole right here on the back, right here where the sticker is, right there in the center, so when you push down, you could take a toothpick and push it out. That is my only suggestion to this company. Otherwise, their product is fantastic. I love it. Okay, for battery replacement, you can use LR44s, GPA76, AG13, G14A, or A347. And SDA will sell you batteries. And should have come down to that when I got 3 trays of these LR44s. My wife ordered them. Well, I can get you 100 for $5. Can you say duck on a June bug? Actually, it's 4 trays. And I think it's like 200 batteries, actually, looking at it. Polarizer. That's this. This is a polarizer. Anything knows about polarized lenses. If you have 2 of them, you can rotate them so it blocks out everything. They're last century? No. 2 centuries ago's optical magic was polarized. Slip the polarizer over the nose piece of the laser center edge finder. Always rotate the polarizer counterclockwise to prevent nose piece from unthreading from the laser body. Bad if that happens, I believe. So, always counterclockwise. If you don't know how to read an analog clock, learn fast. I have a problem with these children. They can't read an analog clock. You tell them the big hand is on Mickey's nose and the short hand is playing with his tail. They go, huh? Mickey Mouse watch. Anyway, to prevent the nose piece from unthreading from his body, rotate the polarizer up to 90 degrees to obtain maximum effect. To use the double polarizer, simply rotate the upper body in one direction to minimize the laser image, and rotate the bottom body in opposite direction, and you should be able to thin the lines or achieve just a single laser dot. Well, that's already adjusted that way because I got it teeny tiny out the box. But they have to tell you how to adjust it in case the post office kicks it across the sorting room floor playing football with it. Oh, don't tell me they don't do that. I know people who used to work at the post office. Lathe work. Forge on chuck material alignment. Place the center edge finder in the tailstock chuck. Loosen and tighten the forge jaw until it's like, regular forge jaw work, but you got a nice little laser dot to tell you you're on center. Sounds like a good idea already, doesn't it? Yeah. To return a tailstock to the center position after off-center setting, to put it in the headstock and point it at the point of the tailstock center and adjust back and forth, or back. Yeah, back. You shouldn't go too far, then it'd be back and forth. Anyway, to realign the tailstock center after you've done turning long, shallow taper between center. That's that one reason for moving your tailstock over, other than old age and you gotta adjust it. Of course, that's usually shimmying it up. Yeah. CNC metals and wooden plastic. Anything of a machine tool where you want 1/1000th of an inch red dot where you can put on X marks the spot or wash down the side of the part, or if you like the little circle, I do believe it's adjustable in size, or the crosshairs, I know they're adjustable for size and focus. This is what you want. Yes, it is. Now, I thank you for your attention, and most especially our Stephen Lang at Shark River Machine. Thank you again. I've been chasing after this thing for 2 years. Now I finally got it. Good night from California. Happy machining, and stay safe.